Hey, welcome. Welcome to the first video of 2026. It's been a while since I made an actual video. Last year I did a lot of live streams and that was a lot of fun, but I have to admit that I missed making videos, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. If you receive my newsletter, you know that I made a bit of planning for January, and my goal really for this year is to make a planning for stuff like live streams and our new Zoom art club, but also possibly for videos. I want to make a planning for that every month and send that out to you. So if you're not yet subscribed to my newsletter, which is a really low-key way to stay up to date, you can find the link in the description of this video. Just in between a little bit about my palette, which is I like to grab stuff that I don't use a lot. I like to combine some colors that I don't usually do to sort of get out of my comfort zone. So I have some umber here that sort of functions as a yellow, and then I have some Prussian blue, which is basically a phthalo blue, very strong, and I have a red that is naphthol red. Now, naphthol is great for study purposes. It's not 100% light fast, so but it is a little bit cheaper than say cadmium, so you can use it for studying. It's a nice looking red, and I have some Gamblin white that I actually don't really like a whole lot, so I also use it for studying, and these are all oil paints, obviously. I have some medium that I recently purchased and tried out during, I think, my last live stream, which is a safflower based. Let me check. Yeah, it's a safflower and poppy oil based medium. I like oleogel or oleogel, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, from Rublev, but Rublev is in the United States and I'm in Europe. So I was looking for an oil-based gel medium in Europe, and this is from Italy, and it works very nicely. It's very smooth. You can see that out of the tube it's opaque, but it dries to a transparent finish, so don't be alarmed. And what I'm gonna do for possibly the next 10 something minutes is I did some sketching with paint, and I'm just gonna talk to you a little bit. There are two things really that I really missed doing last year, and that was first was painting consistently. Like I painted quite a bit in sort of a panic mode for my exhibition, but just consistent painting, practice, low key, no pressure, art for the sake of art, art for the sake of creating, maybe. And something I feel something was blocking me. And it wasn't like something actually was blocking me, it was just my own brain and my own, how you get stuck sometimes in your head. That was preventing me from just sitting down and painting. And I know one of the ways to get out of that negative loop that I was in is to make myself sit down for a while and just go through the motions of putting down paint and going through that, feeling of insecurity and feeling like I'm wasting time, I'm wasting paint, I'm wasting everything, and just go through it and realize that it's good for me, it's good for my mental health. The world didn't end while I was just painting away. And sort of make myself get used to it again. Goes for a lot of things in life that somehow I don't seem able to automate a lot of stuff, and that's fine. Like everyone has their own thing. Just kind of got to work on it. And the second thing I missed, really, it's going to sound maybe a little bit stupid, but I missed making videos, like actual videos that are edited and uploaded. I kind of like making videos. I like editing, I like software, I like stuff like that. And I got into the live streaming and, more very direct content last year. And for me, that was a bit of a learning thing, a learning goal, maybe, if you will, because I was very stressed out about that. And I definitely feel I got through that initial panic of, being live. Being live is a really weird sensation for me. And I really learned that last year. For me, the idea that I can start over and record again. And even though you're working on a painting and it's not really practical to start over, the idea that you're able, in the worst case scenario, to start all over again gives me sort of peace of mind, right? And so for a while, I thought that my liking making videos, the idea that really wanted to make videos again was more about needing control than it was about actually liking the process of making a video. And I thought it was about needing control and just not being able to go with the flow, which is kind of the theme of January for me, the flow. And I felt like I wasn't able to go with the necessary flow, the flow of live streaming and the flow of direct content. And at some point, I realized that I have a tendency to always draw everything into the negative spectrum. And I kind of realized that it's not always necessary to do that. It's not always um, negative, and it's not always necessary to judge everything that you do or everything that you like, right? Needing control has a bit of a negative aura around it. But for me, control, it also means peace of mind, right? It means going slow, and it means thinking about decisions, and it means going back and revising things. And that whole process for me, it is calm and it's well managed. And I decided at some point last week that I just like it. I like it. And therefore, it's not necessarily a negative thing. So I'm trying not to judge everything that I like or that I want or that I need so very harshly. And I feel like in some way it's the same thing with art and the stuff that if you're a student of mine and you did some of my self-portrait classes, I think we talked about that at some point, doing self-portraits and being able to look at your own face from an artistic point of view. And when you do that, when you look at your face or you look at people's faces, or in figure drawing, you look at people's naked bodies, a lot of the judgment, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, and a lot of those judgments are unconscious that you have, they seem to fade away because your perspective is different. You're no longer looking at something from, a societal point of view, from, the way you were raised or the things that were said to you in the past, or the way you learned to look at yourself and your body and your face. You look at it from an artistic point of view in terms of shapes, in terms of lines and angles and all that stuff. And for me, it helped to overcome these judgments that I have about these ideas that I have about beauty and about shape and weight and appearance and all that. They don't seem to matter when you approach it from art. And so, what I want this year to try and approach more things from that art mindset, even when it doesn't directly relate to art practice. I think the art mindset is a way to look at things far more objectively than the I don't even know how you call a not art mindset, like my regular mindset, my normal mindset that is very full of judgment, like I said. And I feel like a regular, consistent art practice, so something that I'm really trying to incorporate into my life again, contributes to maintaining that art mindset that, you keep reminding yourself by drawing, by painting, you keep reminding your brain to look at things differently, to let go of judgment and of what for me feels like almost automatic negative thinking. It's very easy for me to think negatively. I don't know if you relate to that. Maybe you don't. Um, but in any case, it reminded me again that it's important also for my mental health to paint for the sake of painting. And it's not just important for exhibitions or for practice or for technical skills and everything, but the mental health aspect is so very, very important. So yeah, that was my I was going to talk about flow, but I suppose that is maybe flow, like the flow is important. Except the flow, it doesn't always seem to come automatically, right? It's pointless for me and maybe for you as well to sit around sometimes and wait for the flow to start flowing or whatever it does, but you gotta make it happen sometimes. And speaking of that, what helped me a lot was like a lot of my online friends, like Dylan and what he does with live streams and stuff like that, where you have a set date and you can join and you kind of force yourself. It's easier for me to force myself to join an art activity when it's planned. So I would also like to contribute to that, and we're going to continue with the live streams this year, but we're also going to add um, some Zoom calls to it. So we decided during the live streams last year it would be great if we could, talk to each other. Live streams is just me talking and you in the chat, which is also great. But I really like it when, you guys can talk to each other while I paint or while you paint, or just be able to show each other stuff and talk to each other. So we're gonna go to Zoom twice a month, and you can find the schedule, the times, etc., and the links on my latest blog on my website. And again, the link is in the description. You can find it there. And you can join us in the Zoom art club. It's going to be low key. We're going to start. I need to figure stuff out. I need to, make sure I get all the technical stuff down. It's going to be fun. I want it to be safe, right? So I, for now, am not recording anything to put on YouTube or to put anywhere. I might record it so that I can use my work that I do in like a reel or anything, but I won't be sharing your audio or your screens or anything like that. I really want it to be safe. So it also won't be live streamed. It'll just be the Zoom club. So if you're interested in joining that, please do. And here is the kind of finished, I guess, spread. I will link and post some photos of my reference sketches. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will join the live streams. I hope you will join the Zoom art club, and maybe leave a comment if you made it all the way through the end. You can find me on social media, and I'm looking forward to doing another video for you soon. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.